All right, so let's dive in. The first thing in the core four, probably the most important thing in digital advertising that you can do for your college or university, from a get new inquiries that turn into students at a really, really good cost per enrollment, if not the best cost per enrollment, is something that we call trade name search. It is a form of paid search engine advertising, so that's what we call SEM. It is not SEO. Again, if you'd like, I'll send you a copy of the book that we wrote that is a real deep dive into every tactic imaginable in 21st century digital advertising and higher ed. If I had to stack rank everything in the world, paid search engine advertising, especially trade name search, would be the most important thing that you have to make sure that your university or college is deploying today. A lot of people get SEO and SEM confused. This is not SEO. SEO unquestionably is not a lever for net new inquiry and student generation. SEO is important. SEO is probably the 8th, 10th, 12th thing you should do as a university. But a lot of marketing professionals and especially non-marketing executives get sold on SEO as a tactic and as a lever to go get new inquiries and students. That is definitively false. So while SEO is important, what we're talking about here in these core four things are qualitative and quantitative levers to go get more good inquiries. If you put in more money, it is a fairly linear outcome of net new inquiries and students. Unlike SEO, which can be effective, but it's in the long term and there is no guarantee. So everything I'm talking about here is very quantitative from a dollars out, inquiries in. So let's jump into it. So the first thing is trade name search. It is what we'll call trade name SEM, paid search engine marketing. It's got three really important attributes. The first is, and these are real numbers, this is as certain as I am that the sun will rise tomorrow, that you are going to see nearly 90% more incremental traffic, clicks, visitors to your web environment, your college and university. That is incremental. So the biggest mistake that schools make is not doing this, not doing paid advertising around the name of your school. This is not words or phrases like online business degree. This is the name of your college university. So University of Phoenix business or advertising or nursing. All right? This is when you have the name of your college or university in the advertising campaign. It's incredibly easy, but that's what we call trade name search. But what is going to happen if you don't just rely on your organic listings? And I'll put an example here about what is SEO versus SEM, paid versus organic search results. If you don't run trade name search, you're missing out on nearly 100% increase, incremental increase. It doesn't cannibalize, an increase in incredibly high quality traffic to your landing pages and website. So number one, you're going to miss out on a ton of incremental traffic, which are what we'll call the hand raiser inquiries. The second is commanding your brand's real estate on Google and on Bing and on Yahoo or Oath. That means that there is a ton of competition, and I know everybody and their mother understands that it's not just your direct college or university competitors, it's a lot of lead gen companies. So whether it's the Quinn Streets of the world or Classes USA or whomever, affiliates can really aggressively bid on your trade name on Google and Bing and essentially rob the students that were rightfully yours. So again, it's commanding your brand's acreage, the real estate, on a search engine result, basically pushing your competitors down further in the page. And the final thing, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it is the best, lowest cost per enrollment in the entire ecosystem of marketing and spending money to get more inquiries and more students. So it's incredibly effective from an ROI standpoint. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the screen a visual aid that will bifurcate between paid search, a paid search trade name search ad, and your organic listing. And I apologize to whatever school I choose off the top of my head that probably isn't running it. But again, this campaign in particular, trade name search engine advertising, has 3 attributes. And I'm going to say it's about every one of the core 4. It is incredibly easy to set up. It doesn't necessarily require an agency to build it. And I run an agency. I want everyone to need what I do. You don't need weapons-grade digital advertising professionals to set this thing up. I mean, yes, a lot of people make a lot of mistakes when they set this up, and that's why, again, please, if you'd like, I will send you a copy of the book because it's not that easy. It's not something where you can just do a set it and forget it. It does require a fairly good deployment of 21st century digital advertising best practices in trade name search engine advertising. So you can mess it up. You can spend a lot of money and not get a lot of inquiries, or you can get a bad ROI. So there are mistakes you can make, but often it is the easiest thing to set up. Number 2, it's cheap. You know, I think if most schools and colleges spend more than $1,000 a month in this campaign, it'll be a miracle because ostensibly you're only advertising to individuals who are already querying the name of your school. So there's not that many, even for giant school systems, there's not that many. And third, and I'll say this again, it is a phenomenal cost per enrollment. So again, what you need to do after you see the example of like, what the difference is between paid SEM, SEM is paid search engine advertising, and SEO, which is organic. Once you understand the difference, you absolutely have to check if your school is doing it. I know that sounds crazy, but what you can do literally right now from your cell phone or your laptop or your desktop is Google the name of your school. It's that simple. Do that right now. If you do not see in the search engine result, if you don't see a paid advertisement of your school, when you Google the name of your school, your marketing team or your marketing partner is not running trade name search. As certain as I am that the sun's going to rise tomorrow, that is a huge mistake. I have never in my career, never seen a good trade name search engine campaign for a school or any other business for that matter not be one of, if not the best return on marketing investments you can make. You just can't screw it up. And there's a few details. You have to have a good negative keyword list, and that's a wonky, granular marketing term for, so if someone Googles the name of my business, Level Agency, and they Google Level Agency Tom Donahoe or Level Agency Jobs, that's an example of a person I don't want to advertise to necessarily. I don't want to advertise and spend money if someone clicks to look for a job for my company. So the word jobs is an example of something that would put in a negative keyword list. So that's like a really wonky thing that most of you won't care about and shouldn't care about. The point of, and the reason for me saying it is that people can mess this up. Like it's not, you know, it's not like my mother could set up a trade name search campaign and not mess it up. So these things aren't that easy all the time, but from a baseline digital marketing and advertising competency is one of the most simple things to do. So you don't really need an agency, but I have seen quite a few times that even if schools are running this, even if you Google the name of your school and you see an ad pop up above the organic listing, so you have a paid listing above an organic listing, even if you've like checked the box, there are still a few things that might not be done where you're setting fire to money. So again, that's one of the reasons why in this short 10-minute high level about trade name search, can't really go into like how to do it correctly. That's why I'm encouraging you just shoot us a note through CECU or directly, and I'll send you a copy of the book because honestly, the stuff that you need to have within trade name search engine advertising is in that book. So that is trade name search. You have to do it. Please check right now to make sure, A, that your school is doing it. And even if they're doing it, there's a few other things that we'll mention in the notes here that it might not be done correctly. So if your paid advertisement doesn't have a unique 800 number, if there are not things immediately below the ad, like links to places in your site, if you Google the name of your school and if you offer any healthcare degrees, the name of your school in nursing, the search engine, the paid search engine result should have a link to something about your nursing program. So it's things like that that are really, really big deals when you get into the weeds. But at minimum, you need to make sure your school is running paid search engine advertising for the trade name or the name of your school. So we call it Tradename Paid Search.